pretty easy to find. You give good directions.
Okay, that's great. It's good to know not a lot of people can follow directions. So that's good. So tell me, what brings you here today?
Well, I'm having a lot of problems home, and it is really difficult to cope, and I don't feel good about myself at all.
Okay. Sounds like a really stressful situation.
Yeah, it's pretty hard on me.
Okay. Can you explain to me what's going on exactly?
Well, to begin with, I'm 5 months pregnant, and I have a 5-month-old daughter. And I'm unemployed. I just got laid off because the company is downsizing, and it's getting rid of quite a few people. I mean, they gave a little bit of a lump sum as compensation, but I mean, I'm pregnant and I have a baby, so that went out the door in no time.
So, and tell me, have you ever been to counselling before?
This is my first time, and a friend recommended, so I really don't know what to expect.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can clarify a little bit for you what it is about, okay?
Okay.
You're here because you have some issues that you need help to sort out.
Yes.
And I'm here to help you, to help yourself sort them out. So it's not that I'm going to tell you what to do. We are going to work on it together. We are going to come up with options and solutions together.
Okay.
And I'm going to help you to express, basically how you feel about the situation and to get a little clarity on it.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. And in terms of confidentiality, everything that you say here will be kept in the utmost confidentiality. This is a safe place. You are safe to share your feelings, share what you think, share what you want to do, what you have done, anything that you want to share, you can share it here, and know that it will be kept in confidentiality, only except in situations where, in really extreme cases, like if you plan to hurt yourself or someone else or anything like that.
Okay.
But you seem to be a little optimistic, which is good. So I'm guessing we would proceed and see how it goes.
Okay.
So did you understand that, or you need clarity?
Yeah, I'm pretty clear on it. I can work with it.
Okay, that's good. So tell me, what's been going on? How have you been coping with it so far?
Well, I'm trying my best because right now my boyfriend, he left, and I'm living in his parents' house, so you can imagine how awkward that is. He's not there and I'm there. This is very uncomfortable, and I just need to get a job so that I'm able to provide for myself and the baby that's on the way and my daughter.
You mentioned that it's an uncomfortable situation. What type of relationship do you have with his parents?
Well, at the beginning, it was okay. I mean, we were in love, and we had a baby, and we have another baby. But at the beginning, it was cool. And I left my parents' house, and they made it very clear, because I left when I was 18. They made it very clear that once I leave, there's no coming back, because they were against me leaving, because we were not married as yet, we were just engaged. So they didn't agree with me leaving under those conditions. They thought it would have been better for us to get married first, then to leave. So when I left, it was pretty clear that there was no going back. So at the beginning, things were okay. His parents were cordial. I'm not sure if they were just as displeased as my parents, because I mean, he never really told me. All he said is like, yeah, babes, everything fine, it's okay. And he never really disrespected me or made me feel, too unwanted. But I mean, it's a little bit uncomfortable now, more than before. So it is difficult.
So are they aware of what's been going on with you?
With me, with as what, in job?
Well, the whole situation, your job, your boyfriend leaving, you being pregnant, all of that.
Well, I live in a house, so I mean, they see that I'm pregnant.
Okay.
But we never really had much of a discussion regarding this pregnancy. My boyfriend, he left about a month ago, and he doesn't want to return my texts, my phone calls, my emails. I don't know how he's been keeping in contact with his parents, but they didn't come to me and tell me anything, so I'm just basically in their space.
Okay.
I don't know where he is.
Okay. So, is it that nobody knows what's going on with you, or?
Well, I don't have a great relationship with my mom anymore, so I don't really have anyone to talk to. We may talk one or two times probably for the month, once every other week, or yeah. But the conversations are like if you're talking to an acquaintance, you know, hi, how you going? I'm okay. Everything is I'm okay. If you're not okay, you're still okay, and that's basically how the conversation goes.
But how was your relationship before all of this with your mother?
Before, well, I only have one other sibling, so we were a really tight-knit family. So my parents were involved in everything that I did before this happened. So it is a little bit difficult now than before because I'm used to having my parents to lean on, especially my mom. And now that basically our relationship is not that great, it's completely changed the way I do things because I don't have anyone to seek advice from as usual. Or it's just I don't feel like I have anyone on my side.
So let me try to understand what we've discussed so far, right?
Okay.
You feel a little bit isolated because you don't have that support system.
Yes.
You don't have that great relationship with your mom, nor do you have a relationship with your boyfriend's parents. He isn't around. As well as you're feeling a bit lost because you don't have a job right now and you have 2 children, one on the way, that you need to see about.
Yes.
Is that?
That's right.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a really stressful situation. And you seem to be, you know what you're dealing with, even though you're here for help, which is a good step because you know that you want to get out of the situation and you're not just staying there to, wallow in self-pity. And that's a good thing. So tell me, what are your options? What do you think that you need to do?
One, I need a job. Mm-hmm. And I need to get my own space. And I definitely want to rebuild a relationship with my parents, more so my mother. That's what I want to do.
Okay, and in terms of your boyfriend?
Well, I don't really care at this point with regards to that relationship. Okay. What is important to me is that he maintains a relationship with our children. Oh, and by the way, he'd even think this one is his.
Oh,
so he's very insecure. So if I go somewhere and I come back half an hour late, he wants to know where I was, if I was with another man, and I'm like, I have a 5-month-old baby, what am I doing with another man? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. So that I don't even care to see about that relationship right now. I'm focused on him maintaining a relationship with the children and me getting back a relationship with my parents. That is what is important, and getting a job. That is what is important to me right now. My children come first.
So, do you think that because of these insecurity issues, that's why he left?
It has something to do with it, but I mean, we haven't had a discussion like adults because I think he's very immature. I mean, who walks out on their family and don't return calls? So we haven't had a conversation to see where things are going. So that is just up in the air.
So is it that you're putting that relationship on hold, or are you giving up totally on it?
I'm not sure what I want in that regard yet, because I don't know if I'll be able to trust someone who walks out on me in a situation like this.
Okay.
I mean, he has to be there regardless because we have a child together and one on the way. But on a personal relationship level, I don't know, or I don't think that is what I want, or if that is good for me.
Okay. So you seem a bit unsure with your relationship with him, and it's not much of a priority right now for you.
Yeah, it's not a priority right now.
Okay. So your 2 main priorities are getting a job, your independence, basically getting your own space, and mending your relationship with your mother.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, how are we going about doing this? What is your first step that you want to take in doing this?
Well, first I think maybe if I get a job, I'll be able to save some money and start regaining my independence, and probably simultaneously I could probably try to reach out to my mom and see how that goes.
Have you tried any avenues in terms of employment yet?
Well, I only stopped up to my secondary schooling. So I have my CXC passes, but I didn't really complete tertiary education. I did one semester at college, and that's when I got pregnant with the first baby, and I put it on hold.
Okay.
I didn't completely give up on it, but it's definitely on hold.
Okay. And in terms of your relationship with your mother, have you done anything?
Just the calls here and there, but I never expressed to her how I feel about how she basically left me, or abandoned me in a sense. So
she knows nothing about what's going on with you?
She knows that I'm pregnant, but we never even had a conversation about it. I sense that she is a little bit disappointed, kind of, that I'm going on that road again. I mean, yes, I'm married now, but we don't have any rings, so I still refer to him as my boyfriend. I told him not until I get a ring, but actually we are married. And even though I am technically married now, she still feels that we have a lot more to do before we bring another child in. She's correct, but I mean, that's just the situation right now.
Right. Well, let's see if we can come up with some goals in terms of how we're going about doing these two things. You said that you can do them simultaneously, so they seem that they could work both together. So tell me what we can work on some pros and cons, because even though you're telling me that you need a job to kind of regain your independence, there's also the issue of your children in terms of childcare. So do you have any options for that?
Well, daycare is expensive and I am unemployed, and my boyfriend is MIA, so I have no idea how we can come up with a strategy that includes him. Now, in terms of supporting the children, his parents right now, they contribute to the basic necessities of our daughter. So I think that, well, I know that they love her very much, and they may do what they can to try to assist for her sake, not mine. So I think I could ask them if they would be able to look after her if I get through with employment soon, or until better can be done. When I start to probably save some money, I'll be able to pay for daycare on my own. I wouldn't have to depend on them so much. So I'll ask them.
Okay, well that's a good thing. So at least you know you have that support system there, at least initially, until you kind of get on your own 2 feet. So that's good. We rule out that. And in terms of getting a job now, what type of job are you looking at? Is there anything you...
I don't have anything going on besides the children, so if I can get full-time, that'll be good, because the more money I get, the better for everyone.
And in what area are you looking at?
With my 5 CXC passes, whatever I can get.
Okay, well, you don't have anything that you like specifically?
Well, I like to cook. So if I can get a job in a kitchen,
okay,
that'll be good.
All right. So maybe we can come up with a list of places that you can apply to, and you can, well, important to you. So that can be the first thing we can look at when you can probably, I don't know if you can go out and look for them. As you said, you can ask your in-laws to see about your daughter, so you can probably go out there and see what it has to offer. You can even look in the newspaper, see what it has to offer as well. So that could be our first goal, you trying to gain employment. In terms of your relationship with your mother, what do you think is the first step that we can look at?
Well, she needs to know that I'm angry at her for pushing me away. So I'll tell her how I feel about that.
Okay, are you just gonna talk to her over the phone, or are you gonna do a personal visit?
I think I could visit. I mean, she said I can't live by her, right? I mean, I'm sure I could visit.
So would you be comfortable having that conversation with her, letting her know face-to-face how you feel and all of that?
Yeah, she's approachable, so I don't think I'll have much of an issue trying to talk to her. She's reasonable.
Okay.
I can talk to her.
Okay.
I'll try.
Okay. Well, Atia, I must commend you. I think that you have your head on, even though you feel a little bit overwhelmed by a situation. You know what you want. You know where you want to go. And that's really, really commendable, because you are not so flustered that you give up and you just don't want to do anything. And that's a strength that I must admire in you, and you must admire in yourself, because not a lot of people, when they're so overwhelmed, know exactly what they want to do about their situation, and that's a good thing. So seeing that we have these things in place that we want to accomplish, the first two goals, I would say, is to get a job and have a conversation with your mother. The relationship may not mend overnight, but I am hoping that you plan to continue the visits or the phone calls and try and mend the relationship. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And in terms of the job, you may not get one overnight as well. So you may have to apply, check back with the ones you have applied for, apply for some more, and in time something would come up. Another thing is you need to speak to your in-laws as well, because if you're going to apply for a job, you don't know exactly when you would get through with a job. So you would also need to speak to them. So do you have a strategy in place to speak to them? Or do you think you can help?
Well, I think when I go home today, I'll let them know what my plan is. And hopefully they get on board to help me. Because helping me will help them, because I'll move out from my them. So I think they just might be on board.
I don't mean to sound, kind of critical, but we must always have a backup plan. Alright, so if it is that they said they can't afford to see your daughter, what are you going to do about that?
Well, I'm going to speak to my mom as well.
Okay.
So I'll also ask her for assistance in that regard. So hopefully one out of the other pulls through.
Okay.
And it's not a permanent situation, it's only temporary. So hopefully at least one will be a little sympathetic and assist.
Okay. Seems like you have a lot to do within a space of time, right? But I would like to see you in the next 2 weeks. So within that 2 weeks, at least we could try two things. You applying for some positions,
Okay.
and having a conversation with your in-laws, having a conversation with your mother.
Okay.
It can just be one conversation each, at least let them know what's going on, what your plans are, what you plan to do, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And when I see you again, we can discuss this and see, how much we have got, how far we've gotten, how far we need to go.
Okay.
And if the case is that you need to change some of your plans, because there are other things that we would need to do, along the line. But for now, we'll look at that. I don't want to overwhelm you with too many things, and, so let's take baby steps and see how it goes, right?
Okay.
So when you go outside, you can make an appointment to see my secretary in the next 2 weeks, and you can work on those two things, and maybe when we come back, we'll discuss everything.
Okay.
So to recap today, we looked at your situation. You said that you want to get a job to regain your independence for your daughter, your 5-month-old daughter, as well as your unborn baby. You want to get your own place.
Yeah.
You want to mend your relationship with your mother. And as you said, you put in your relationship with your boyfriend or husband on hold, at least, until you kind of get on your own two feet and you know what you're about.
Okay.
My sum is up. Yeah?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So I will see you next 2 weeks, and we will discuss then what we plan to do from there on. Yeah?
Okay, Ms. Babwah, it was nice to meet you.
Nice to see you too. And thank you very much for coming.